It's the Yo Morning Show.
Boca Tove, what it do?
What it do?
It's your boy RD. I'm here with my boy Godson, trying to get y'all up in this room real quick.
We need y'all in here. Y'all come hither.
Come hither.
It's MLK Day. Not Dre Day. It's MLK Day.
MLK Day.
Yeah. Hit your like. God said, let there be light, and watch this.
Right. Who's that light?
Get that aura.
Right.
Yeah, y'all. So we're about to go ahead and start inviting people in. We're gonna play a video first before we start. It's Martin Luther King Day. And it's a day that I guess most people probably don't go to work. Some people probably still go to work. And yeah, it's about that time, y'all. Why we get one day? Why we can't have a whole bunch of days?
Mm-hmm.
Why we get you one day? Like you got Martin Luther King got one day. But wait. Next month is a
whole month
of Black History, right?
A whole month.
One whole
28 days.
They showed us days
to use as an excuse your boss to act a fool.
Act a fool.
Right.
Wow. Let me see. Let me get on here and let people know we in the house. What's up?
We in the house.
Eliana. How you say that? Ilana?
Yeah.
Eliana. I say this. I get this mixed up every time I see your name. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. I want you to.
The other day, wasn't it?
This a different one. That's a different person.
Eliana? But that was Eliana from.
Oh, I don't know. We talking about what? What we talking about?
You said a new person there who jumped on.
Okay, that's one of the new persons. Yeah, but it's another one named Wilhelmina, something like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shabbat shalom to you,
Julian. What it do?
Yes, sir. What's going on, Julian? Hey, I want everybody that's right here and right on. I keep saying right on. That's on right now.
Oh, no.
Click. Right. We just talked about that. Brain going too fast. Share. Press that share button, and I want you guys to invite everybody.
Don't talk fast. You just listen slow.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. Okay. Hey, you in Houston. Julian in Houston today.
Yeah. I told you he was going on in Houston.
I forgot you said you was going down there for the job for some steel toes.
Yeah, he got the steel toes and I think he visited family out there out in Houston. I ain't know it was in H-Town, bro. You got us trying to get the Boca Raton.
Dang, that would be a good look. How long you gonna be in Houston?
Yeah.
Eliana said she a regular, man. She said, watch out. She a regular.
I'm over here eating this grapes and carrots trying to get regular.
Right.
From this crazy weekend I had. Boy, I tell you.
Fiber.
I need some fiber. Some fiber 1 bars or something. Man.
Yeah, man. So everybody go ahead, press that share button to your left, if it's on your left, and start inviting your friends to the show. It's Martin Luther King Day, and also it's Midrash Monday. And we're gonna speak about the covenants, different covenants that Yahweh had, made with mankind. And so we're just gonna, talk about a few of them or all of them, whatever wherever Yahweh leads us to do. And we're just gonna express that today with you guys. But definitely, I want you guys just to share. But while we doing the sharing and inviting, I'm gonna play a video clip of Martin Luther King. Today is his birthday, right? Yeah. Now it's actually what day is his birthday? They just gave him this day.
Yeah, this is the day we honor his life.
Okay.
I think his birthday is on the 16th. Like, so it's close. I think it's tomorrow.
Okay.
Something like that. But today is the day we honor his birthday.
Okay.
There's always that first second week, first day of the second week, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of like a President's Day and all that type of stuff, Mother's Day. Yeah. So we just honor him on this day. Usually you get off of work. In some states, it's a national holiday.
Okay.
But a lot of companies don't honor it, and you still got to go to work. Yeah. Either way, you get your money. Don't get caught up in these holidays, y'all. Like Get your money. If your job is allowing you to get that bread, you know, go to a couple what them things called? Freedom rallies and all that type of stuff after you get off work. You know what I'm saying? Honor him in your way. You know, you don't have to do it what the world do. You ain't gotta go to every parade downtown, but just honor him in your way, get this money. That's what's important. He that's really what he fought for, economic empowerment. So if you using this day to not get no money and to you see what I'm saying, then you doing a disservice to this brother, man.
Right, absolutely.
For real.
So I'm gonna go ahead and roll this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. It's called If I Had Sneezed. Now, this is my first time hearing this one. And actually, I don't even remember him being stabbed. But this video is proof.
Hit the input.
Oh, yeah, hit the input there. Yahweh's on your radio. What's going on? All our app people, we love y'all. We starting the show. We just went Facebook Live. We about to play a clip from Martin Luther King. One of his speeches. Excuse me, sermon. I think it actually was a sermon.
I had burped, if I hiccuped,
if I had hiccuped,
yeah, I think this was one of his sermons.
Got to be one of his sermons.
One of his last. Actually, I want to say this was his last sermon, bro.
Really?
Yeah. I want to say this.
I need a trivia on this one because I don't even remember. This the year he died?
Yeah, 1968 is the year he died. I think this is the actual last speech that he did.
Wow.
Yeah. So one of the most empowering speeches that he did. Your radio, your nation, what it do? Everybody on the app showing love to y'all, man. But I was telling our Facebook fans, make sure you guys honor him in the way that you can honor him. Appreciate everybody tuning in, showing love for us today. Mid-Rash Monday. We're gonna go ahead and jump this video real quick. MLK, If I Had Sneezed, April 3rd, 1968. The King
is back. Oh, look.
That you didn't sneeze. And I want to say tonight.
Go back. Boom.
And while sitting there autographing books, a demented black woman came up. The only question I heard from her was, "You, Martin Luther King?" And I was looking down writing, and I said, "Yes." The next minute, I felt something beating on my chest. Before I knew it, I had been stabbed by this demented woman. I was rushed to Harlem Hospital. It was a dark Saturday afternoon. That blade had gone through, and the x-rays revealed that the tip of the blade was on the edge of my aorta, the main artery. And once that's punctured, you're drowned in your own blood. That's the end of you. It came out in the New York Times the next morning that if I had merely sneezed, I would have died. Well, about 4 days later, they allowed me, after the operation, after my chest had been opened and the blade had been taken out, to move around in the wheelchair in the hospital. They allowed me to read some of the mail that came in, and from all over the states and the world, kind letters came in. I read a few, but one of them I will never forget. I had received one from the president and the vice president. I've forgotten what those telegrams said. I'd received a visit and a letter from the governor of New York, but I've forgotten what that letter said. But there was another letter that came from a little girl, a young girl, who was a student at the White Plains High School. And I looked at that letter, and I'll never forget it. Said simply, "Dear Dr. King, I am a 9th grade student at the White Plains High School." She said, "While it should not matter, I would like to mention that I'm a white girl. I read in the paper of your misfortune and of your suffering. And I read that if you had sneezed, you would have died. I'm simply writing you to say that I'm so happy that you didn't sneeze. And I want to say tonight, that I too am happy that I didn't sneeze, because if I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1960 when students all over the South started sitting in at lunch counters. And I knew that as they were sitting in, they were really standing up for the best in the American dream, taking the whole nation back to those great wells of democracy, which were dug deep by the founding fathers in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1961 when we decided to take a ride for freedom and ended segregation in interstate travel. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1962. The Negroes in Albany, Georgia decided to straighten their backs up. And whenever men and women straighten their backs up, they are going somewhere, because a man can't ride your back unless it is bent. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been here in 1963. The black people of Birmingham, Alabama, aroused the conscience of this nation and brought into being the Civil Rights Bill. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have had a chance later that year in August to try to tell America about a dream that I had had. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been down in Selma, Alabama to see the great movement there. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been in Memphis to see a community rally around those brothers and sisters who are suffering. I'm so happy that I didn't sneeze. They were telling me, we've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over. And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Yahweh's on your radio. It's MLK Day, and that was a video clip from the sermon, If I Had Sneezed. And like I said, today I didn't even know. Today I learned something today.
Man, that was a sermon on the mount, bro.
On the mount.
Yeah, that's what actually one. I know everybody liked the "I Have a Dream" speech. You know, that was very, very dynamic speech. Mm-hmm. Everybody, and when I was in middle school, they made me read it every year as a token black kid.
Right.
But you know, this is actually my favorite one right here. Oh. Yeah. This is actually my favorite speech right here, man. Okay. Mine eyes have seen they're coming. You know that I love that part, man. Yeah. And, hey, if you watch the actual one though, I encourage y'all to watch the actual speech. You know where the live speech.
Okay.
Yeah, man. He was so intense. Like he walked away. If he was still talking when he walked away from the mic, like that boy was on it, man. That he had that power, man.
Yeah, he definitely had the Holy Spirit on him, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate MLK, man. MLK, like I said, he had foresight. He had foresight at a time where people were thinking backwards, man. You know, even our people were thinking backwards, you know. And so he really opened our minds up to the possibilities of what we could actually do as a people. What's going down, Robin? What's going on? We on here, man. Yo Radio, we live today, MLK Day, honoring this man of God, you know, this man of Yah. And like I said, man, he was a brilliant person. When he went to started college at age like 15, dude, like, man. You know what I'm saying? Just an exceptional individual. And we thank God for him. We thank God for him because they killed our leaders. They killed our leaders. They've killed our leaders since the dawn of time whenever we've tried to make progress. But you know, that's okay, because what we have, they've always been symbols. Leaders are symbols. And it always takes one person to go ahead of you for you to know that you can do it. Right. We always looking, because, you know, it's power in numbers. True. It is. Come on. You know, it's power in numbers. But when we got one person that can go ahead of the group and say that I can do this and this, and it can be done, you know, they really just serve as symbols in the flesh. And so if he can do it, I can do it. And if everybody had that mentality that, if he can do it, if, you know, Malcolm could do it, you know, if Medgar Evers could do it, hey, Randy Knighton could do it, you know, Godson can do it. And we need to take on that mentality if we're going to see any type of progress, you know. And in this speech, he even said that the letter that he remembered most came from a Caucasian girl, you know, in the 9th grade, saying that she's glad that he didn't sneeze. And you know, the fact that he not only inspired blacks, but he inspired whites also, Hispanics, you know, across the world. You know, it's people across the planet right now honoring this day, honoring this man. And that's something to be proud of. You're right. You know, that's really something to be proud of as an achievement. Good morning. What's going on, Miss R. Michelle? Appreciate y'all tuning in. Everybody on the Tune In app. Shout out to y'all. Everybody on the Yo Radio app. Download that app this morning, you know, get it. You know, we got the best in hip hop, gospel, Christian, contemporary, all that, man. Anything that's positive, we got. We got it. We got it. Anything that's positive and is honorable, we got it, because we're honorable men. Shout out to my boy Godson, man. I just love this man right here. That's my homie right there. Came and showed me love this weekend. Yes, sir. Spent time. He a knight, and he official knight now, y'all. He fam now. Jazz, you messed up. You could have been at the party, man. Became a knight. I got initiated. You got the right hand, the fellowship. He's official, y'all. Oh man, shout out to my little brother. His birthday. He came. What's up, Rap? Oh, Rap. That's what I'm. Hey, it's a party now. It's a party. I don't need my notes. Just forget it. We ain't seen her in ages. What's up, Rap? What's up? But my brother, man, celebrated his birthday this weekend, and I didn't realize. You know, you invite a couple people here just to do a little shindig at the house. Oh, it was a party, man. It was a party. It was a party. We had the music going. My parents, they was into it. Somebody was teaching my mama how to twerk. I don't know what that was about. I was like, it ain't that kind of party though. Get my mama out of there. Right. They had this. She gonna walk off and left me cooking. I was me over there fried chicken. that chicken was good, man. I appreciate that. Was it buffalo style? Yeah. Boy. Yeah. You like that? Yeah. 3 plates of that. Oh, for real? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. She do it up, man. She got some more food left. Bro, so much food. I actually debated if I needed to bring you leftovers. Dude, for real. I think I'm going over there. Okay, yeah. There's so many leftovers because, like I said, my brother, his birthday was this weekend, and the surprise, the party wasn't a surprise, but actually they leave today to go to South Africa, Cape Town. Right, that's what you were telling me. So they're gonna and I couldn't believe my sister-in-law actually got a day off from the hospital. Really? So that in itself was a blessing. Right. So everything just came together just perfectly, you know. Oh, what's up, Will? Oh, my boy Steve, man. Steve Lewis. Hey, I need to get with you, man, so you can promote your business on here also. I need to promote your business. He does real estate out here. Big business. Okay, cool. Get with my boy Stephen Lewis, man. Appreciate you showing love. To you, bro. Yeah, chiming in. And Ashton too. What's up with you, my brother? Ashton. Cuz what it do, man. But yeah, today we just honoring we honoring What'd you say?
Her invite must have got lost.
You ain't fam yet. You kingdom fam. You
gotta play video games with us or something.
You ain't even been to the house yet. You keep losing that invite. You lose that invite every Friday.
You gotta come over.
Make yourself seen.
Yeah.
But nah, man, we just honor this man of God, man. MLK was very, very instrumental. And like I said, when I was growing up, one, because everybody always wanted Random to play Martin Luther King at every Black History program. So I kind of got a liking to him. But when we moved out to Nashville, which Memphis is 3 hours away. Me and my family used to always drive out to Memphis, just enjoy the town. But Lorraine Motel, if you guys are looking for a family event, a family outing, or like a family vacation type thing, man, real talk, hit up Memphis, man. Memphis is a great place. It's got a lot of culture there. Lorraine Motel is a place where this brother was actually murdered in 1968. And they maintained the condition of the hotel. So the bottom floor is a museum.
Okay.
The whole thing is a museum, but upstairs is where the actual rooms were. They have even his Bible was still like there, so everything is maintained the way it was when he was assassinated. And it's great. They even show you where the bullet came from. One of the gentlemen who was actually there present, he comes like once a month or once a quarter, something like that, to actually meet and greet with the museum goers.
Okay.
His name is Billy Cowles, Reverend Billy Cowles. He still live in the area. But so we ran into him. We took pictures, photo op with him. It's good. It's a lot of culture out there, man. So if you want a good family event, I recommend Lorraine Motel Hotel, where MLK was assassinated.
Cool. Hey, just for everybody that's tuning in right now, we thank y'all for tuning in. Absolutely. What's going on? Amelia Dowse. That's our girl right there. She can cook, man. That's the one that came to the show.
Yeah. No,
she gave us that fake ice cream. I was about to say, wow. I thought it was ice cream.
Amelia, man. I know me. Yeah. I follow her on IG.
Yeah, big ups to her.
All the food, all the butter cake.
Right.
We're gonna tease me with this little cake she had, like a little pound cake. She took the butter with the sugar seasoning or whatever it was, a little sauce, and drizzled that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, you can't do your boy like that.
She's just gonna drizzle that.
We're gonna just drizzle like that. You gonna not my mama biscuits, Gina. Not my mama biscuits.
Man. Big ups to Abdul Shakur?
What's going down?
Big ups to you, bro. Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate it.
Jay Brown, what's up, man? This boy got upper respiratory infection.
Right.
So we're gonna pray that you get better like this week, like quickly, bro.
Do the fiber optics.
Look, put your hand on
the
screen.
The streaming.
Yeah,
Kiss
man.
your phone.
You silly,
I don't know about Jay Brown. I might hear I got sick.
Memphis, yes.
Yeah.
You read about that
tourism spot for real. We might have to just mob out there.
We should.
No, you know what? No, we ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere till we go to Denver.
Oh.
And not for reasons y'all think we're going. We're going to be a blessing to the people. That's summertime. That's summertime.
Because right now they said, I was talking to Latanya, and she was like how bad the snow was on the mountain. Where that ranch is. That's where we would stay.
Yeah.
Ranch.
Yeah.
And like, man, it's like too much snow out there. So I said, yeah, we better wait.
Yeah, we might have to wait, man. I don't want to avalanche while I'm out there trying to barbecue in the snow. So dig a hole, put a lamb in there.
Right.
Somebody tried to high side on me this weekend. A buddy of mine from high school, he just got a job as a head chef at one of those the Brazilian barbecue place where they bring the little spit out and they had all the meat on it. He's like the head chef up there.
Okay.
And I said, man, I'm gonna come and support you, man. I'm gonna come and support you, show love. And he was like, yeah, and we have lamb too. I was like, no. I said, yeah, because I ain't going to hell behind that pork.
That pork would send you straight to the doctor.
For real.
Like, you going to the doctor.
Right. Messing with him. He's trying to throw a blow, you know what I'm saying? Because like, it's against your religion. I'm like, no, it's just against my dietary habits.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Lonnie? What's going on, bro? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Brian Watts, I see you, man. Thanks for tuning in, bro. It's been a minute. I ain't seen Brian in a long time, man. Where you been at, man? We got to connect too, man, one day, because I know we've been saying it for like 700 years, but we're gonna have to really connect for real, man. We got a radio station. We have a radio station. We could be like the two in Dallas that really take over, man. Not saying it like in a bad way, but take over to the point that we really actually doing something, man. Really doing something for the communities all over, not just our own, everybody's community. Right. I want to step in everybody's community, like, yo, this yo here.
Household name. For real. You know, he was saying, I won't get to the promise. I've seen the promised land, but I won't get to the promised land with you. Mm-hmm. Why would he say that to African Americans? You know what I'm saying? And that's resonated with me about this speech. Mm-hmm. When I first heard this speech, I was thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna get freedom. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be looked upon as an inclusive group of people where race don't even matter in America. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all gonna be one, and that's gonna be the promised land. Like, this land is the promised land. But MLK wasn't talking about this America being the promised land, y'all. Mm. America lost already. Like, lost a long time ago. If we were going to be a promised land, it was going to be now. And the way things are looking right now, America is not that place no more, y'all. I think what MLK saw when he saw the glory of the Lord was black people being free, living free in their own promised land. Because when you think about a promised land always went to the ancestors of a people who didn't have a land.
True.
And we're considered citizens, but we're temporary citizens here. Mm-hmm. If we were going to be here an extended amount of time, then yeah, America would be that homeland to us. Right. But this ain't our homeland. And I ain't even talking about Africa. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when he said this, and now growing up in the mentality that I have now, having the concept of Yah, the scriptures, the holy, which is the holy heritage, the holy heritage of God's people. I don't call it the Bible. I don't want to call it the Bible no more. The heritage of a holy people.
That's good.
Real talk. Because we say Bible, everybody get confused and start trying to lump you into a box. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's a scripture. Huh? Hey, what's going on? TT.
Look, I told you I was a knight. Look.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's right. You're official now. You get ridden to the wheel.
Right. Grafted
in. But in Hosea chapter 2, verse 34 says, I will bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered, with a mighty hand and with the outstretched arm and with fury poured out. So that don't sound like a beautiful promised land situation where God has said, my fury, I'm gonna have fury on the world, but I'm gonna pull you together and protect you. It's only one people that were scattered, right? And you look at any continent in the world, and look at the people who are suffering the most. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, this is a quiz. Who's suffering the most?
Right. Who's suffering the most in a land that isn't theirs? You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting that out there. We got more for you come Black History Month. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna hit you with so much in Black History Month. You ain't gonna deny this thing. You're gonna stop denying yourselves of the promises that God have for you. All right. But in this scripture, Hosea prophesied that God's people, he ain't talking about the Hebrews coming out of Egypt. This is a whole nother people. Why would a prophet after the Exodus say this? Right? That means that there's a group of people, right? A nation of people who are scattered to different continents, to different islands, tucked away in different areas, right? Mm-hmm. That will be in the last days be brought back together. He said with a mighty hand, he's going to deliver them stretched out, right? Mm-hmm. And he's going to gather them together. Verse 35 says, I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there I will plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith the Lord your God. All right. So but that was basically what he saw.
And Martin Luther King was on it, man.
In one of his final moments, he gave prophecy that really precepts some of the biblical prophets and what they're saying about the disenfranchised people across the globe. So the most disenfranchised people across the globe are the people who this speech resonates with. My eyes have seen the coming of the glory. What was that glory? That mighty hand. Mm-hmm. That mighty hand of God coming to get his people.
Right.
All right. So, and I want to use that as a moment to really get into our study for today.
Yeah.
So I talked to this brother. He said he wanted to study the covenants, and that's something that we kind of been, kind of talking about in the last couple of weeks and trying to identify what is a covenant. Like what is a covenant versus a contract versus a promise or that type of thing. And so really we just sat down to try to go through the scripture and find out exactly what is it that God has for us. And the only reason why we're talking about it because the time we live in.
Yeah, true.
And so much going on right now, you're going to have to know who you are, right? And know whose you are.
Absolutely.
In order to really survive what's coming about in the land at this pivotal moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I give so much respect to every situation and I honor everything that happens, even like good and bad. A lot of people was upset about the whole S-hole comment that the president made. Like I love that because it's creating an atmosphere for something dynamic to happen. True. all that goes into people's heart. All that stuff going into people's mind. People don't forget that stuff.
You're right about
that. Don't forget that stuff. You want to give people the benefit of doubt. As soon as you get the benefit of doubt, I'm talking about the president. He say something else to tick people off. And some people agree with what he say.
A lot of people do.
You see what I'm saying? And so what's that creating? You got people who like it and people who hate it.
That's true.
Don't like it. You see what I'm saying? And so it's creating what? Division. But that's a necessary division to separate people.
Right. That's true.
In a time where we feel like we need love and we need companionship, we need oneness and we need people to come together. Nah, man, we need more division in this world. And only a mature mind will see that.
Right. And I know that sounds funny, don't it? It sounds real funny to y'all.
It do, man. It do. It sounds horrible. It sounds horrible that Randall will want division. But it ain't me that want it. I just read to you the scripture where God said he's going to create the division. And he's going to divide the people up. And then the people he's going to save them with a mighty hand. True. And wrath on the other division.
That's true. It makes sense, though, y'all. If you read the word, research the word, it's going to make a whole lot of sense. So everything that's happening right now, it's like it really wouldn't trouble you as bad. Now, the human part of you, we were like, oh, man, this is actually happening. Oh, my goodness. Right. So, yeah, it's fear could step in for a second, but then realize, you know what? Let me shake that off. Right. Hold on. Yahweh always said this was going to happen. So let me really, dig deep and see more of what he's saying. Let me find out what's in the covenant and let me find out what's in the principles, of the 613 that he had wrote out. Right. 10 Commandments, if everybody probably know them by. Yeah. And just really go by that. You know what I'm saying? Right, we have to. We got to learn. I can't just tell you to go by it, but we have to teach you how to go by it. So you can't say your radio, they said it, but they ain't show us. So that's going to be our goal this year, just to show y'all how to even go about getting the principles in place, put them in place. Because once you start seeing them in place, that's how things start to happen in your life. And then it can be good and bad, because when you start doing good, the enemy will be like, hold on. God, can I go get this? Because he trying to do what you say, but you don't mind if I go down here and mess with him a little bit, do you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
exactly.
That's what's going to happen.
Well, he ain't going to mess with you right now because you got to get ready. You got to get ready right quick. You know what I'm saying? But, it's that type of thing, man. We just got to know, like I said, who we belong to. Yeah. And if we don't start putting principles in place, we're going to miss out when the time is coming. When the time coming, it's just man, there's a lot in my head right now.
I know it is.
I can't wait to February. I'm gonna wake you. If y'all gonna wake up in February. Yeah. Oh, well, we got planned for y'all. You gonna wake up. You're gonna wake up because after February comes March, That's Passover. We already 3 months. We 5,000 years ahead of everybody already. But you know what I'm saying. But 2 months, we got lessons and whatnot. 2 months ahead planned out for you guys, because when Passover comes, it's necessary that every Christian honors Passover this year. I'm gonna leave it at that.
This year on out.
Yeah, I know y'all love Easter. We gotta do Passover this year. This year, continue on till you die, till whatever. You gotta do Passover starting now. No more. If you do everything else, that's cool too. But make sure you do Passover this year. I'll tell you why next month. 15 days, bro. I know, fam.
So that's 15 days from now?
February.
Okay.
Yeah. But what time is it, bro?
It is
I got to watch right. It's 11. Let's get into this study.
Okay.
So we just been kind of talking about like what's the commandments. I mean, not what's the covenants of God. You know, we touch on it here and there. But we hadn't sat down and really defined it. And when you look at different teachers and different pastors, the way they teach it, it's all like the same. But some people add some, and some don't consider some covenants. Right. But it's all good information. So what we decided to do in our study group is that we're going to study it for ourselves. So we are part of a group of enlightened individuals who are studious, who are who take good instruction, but we also research it on top of receiving it. We just don't take man's word for it. We study it ourselves. And so it's been a great thing being a part of this group, because we found a lot of things ourselves that have been very, very useful. Right. But what we came up with was, it was it's almost like 12, 13. But a lot of them actually go into other ones that have already been like set. So
let's do this real quick. Let's do the definition of a covenant.
All right,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So a lot of people probably don't even know and understand
what a covenant is.
So a covenant is an agreement between partners. It implies a definite obligation between both parties. The concept of loyalty to the covenant easily takes on the form of grace when the receiving party breaks a clause. The parties to the covenant are expected to be loyal and true to their obligations.
Correct.
So definitely, this is what Yahweh gave us. He gave us covenants. Right. Each and individual that's been through the whole biblical studies, they all had a obligation, and they're expected to be loyal, like it says, and true to the obligation. Right. So he's expecting us to do what we have to do as far as keeping this covenant.
Correct. And when I think of covenant, and we even went back and forth with this one, covenant versus contract. Yeah. Really, it could be defined differently, but initially it's the same.
It feels the same.
So agreement between two partners. It's an obligation between two parties. The concept of loyalty to the covenant easily takes form of grace. So whenever one person breaks it, there's still a factor, a grace factor. In a contract, for those who have car notes, if you 10 days late, you have a grace period, right? You have a grace period. You have to pay a fine. See, right. But then sometimes with a contract, your word, like with a covenant, especially with God's covenant, he said, this person is honorable or these people are honorable. I'm going to make that covenant with that individual. Now, the only thing that separates a covenant from a contract, in a sense, is that with a contract, sometimes your word isn't enough. You have to get what they call a co-signee. A co-signee covers you. Right. Now, if you want to get real biblical about it, that makes a contract and a covenant even more significant and tie them together, because Yeshua, or what the world calls Jesus Christ, was the co-signee that bonded God from the people after they disobeyed his covenants. So Yeshua was the glue that bound the covenant back together from the people who were disobedient towards the original covenant. That's so true. Much that God said that, well, I'm going to renew the covenant. All right. So everybody keeps hearing this one part of that. New means different, something completely different. All right. So do you sever contracts? The person who made the contract, the initiator of the contract can rip the paper up, but once you sign your name on it, you got to do it. Yeah, you agreed to it, just like the music deals. You got a 4-album contract. If you try to get out that contract before them 4 albums, what's gonna happen? They get sued. You get sued, and you still gotta do it. Yeah, but Sony want their money. Virgin Music, they want their money. Interscope want their money, and they want them albums. I don't care if they good albums, they successful albums, they whack albums. You gonna do 4 albums unless they feel like, you know what, we're gonna advertise from you. You got to be in good grace with them for them to sever the tie. But beyond that, all they thinking about is the bottom line. They want that money. You're a talented artist. I want 4 albums. You should have thought about it before you signed it. Just like Delicia James, talented artist. Big ups to you. Thanks for tuning in. Please share, and invite your friends to the show. We're talking about covenants today, y'all. The covenants that's between Yahweh and us. Right. He gonna keep his end. Right. Are we gonna keep ours? Oh, yeah. Are we? So, like I was saying, the word new. All right, new. He didn't say I'm gonna give you a new covenant. He said I'm gonna give you a renewed covenant. So what is renewed? It's new again. New again. Is it new again? Right. So that means that it's the same thing, right? It doesn't mean it's different. Nope. I'm just gonna renew the same covenant. I'm giving it like you renew your lease. Yeah, I'm gonna renew my lease. Thank you. That was great, bro. That was great. I renew my lease. Now there may be an additional fee now because of the market rate has changed, but you're still going to be in the same apartment. Yep. You're going to be in the same condition, right? You're going to have the same parking space. You're going to utilize the same facilities, right? Your amenities going to change. Well, you know what? I'm going to give y'all granite. I'm going to come back in. I'm going to give y'all some granite countertops. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna change up the what they call it when they upgrade it. I might upgrade you a little bit. You see what I'm saying? But it's the same apartment, the same rules. It's still a 12-month to 24-month lease. That's the renewed covenant. So it's still God's law. It's still God's law, except now it's at a different time, at a different place, with some other amenities included. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can't. To me, it's people think when you renewed it, okay, now we just up on the grace only. But when you said something like weeks ago, and I'm like, that makes sense. You said grace been here since the beginning of the time. Yeah. You know, the Hasatan, Satan was giving grace when he got kicked out. He could have put him to death right then and there. Right. We would have had perfect peace on earth. Oh, man, for real. So, like he sent Hasatan when he kicked him out of heaven, he could have went straight to hell, to the lake of fire, whatever, you know what I'm saying, or just disintegrated him as a even existing being. You know what I'm saying? The grace that he gave to Lucifer was sending him to earth to be a thorn in our side. Like go down to my creation. You just ran over them until I get rid of you. Then right. That's grace, yo. And even then, he had a purpose. His purpose as Hasatan was to help with the separating of God's people. The wheat and the tare. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, even Hasatan in his evilness is used by God for purpose. You know what I'm saying? So, and everything that happened to us ain't Hasatan. It ain't Satan. It ain't the devil made me trip over that. No, it's self sometimes. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes we're our own antichrist. Yeah. He said, upgrade the laws on your heart and mind, not just on tablets. Exactly. And some things were taken out, right? When he renewed it, some things were taken out and some things were put in. And but that's solely God. He's able to do that because he gave us the covenant. Right. Covenant number 1. We found that there was something called the Edenic covenant. Yeah. And that's found in Genesis 2 and 6. You got 2 and 6. Boy, you coming with your sword, boy? You got your sword.
I use this.
All right, Genesis.
Hey, while he found that, big ups to thanks for tuning in. It was a Valadia Shalane tuned in today.
Valandia.
I'm saying
Shalane. That's Miss V.
Oh, that is her. What's going on?
Yeah, man.
What's going on?
Her and a daughter on. Oh, man, we blessed today.
We got double grace.
Hey, for real. doubly fruitful.
Hey, your girl said, but folks forget grace periods run out.
Oh. Wait a minute. So I can't be bad all the time. I can't be bad forever. Grace periods run out. They do. They do. Let me see here. We went to Genesis. Boom.
2:6.
Yeah, 2:6.
So if y'all got Bibles, you can go to Genesis 2:6. So you want to say, hey, they just making up stuff.
Right. Actually, I said 2:6, but really it's the whole second chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole second chapter. But in there we found let's see, 6 through like, man, just read that whole second chapter. And I'm looking, they just talk about the Garden of Eden.
Okay.
Because like verse 17, it says, oh no, I take it back. Verse 15, chapter 2, verse 15, it says, and the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may eat freely, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day thou shalt eat thereof thou shalt surely die. And let's see. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmate for him. So the first one we saw was like the Edenic covenant. And that's basically like creation. Right. They dealt with like creation. And one of the terms was to not eat from the tree. So remember we said we had like certain things that you had access to and certain things you don't have access to, right, you know, that you have to do in this covenant. Like one of the things that we saw that we couldn't do in this covenant is eat from the tree of knowledge. And so the token or symbol, and that was the other thing. So with covenants, you get something. So like with contracts, if I just sign paperwork, you know, that, you know what I'm saying? That's a deal. Right. I got a deal. Right. Now I have to go and produce it. Well, with the difference with the contract is that, you know, I have to produce something. With the covenant, God produces it. You know what I'm saying? God fulfills it. Like God gives you a symbol, a token, you know, that type of thing. So the Garden of Eden and the Tree of Life were the tokens because they sustained life. Right. So you can eat from all of this, but you know what I'm saying? The Tree of Life is what you eat from, but not the Tree of Knowledge. Right. So the Tree of Knowledge, bad. Tree of Life, good. That's your token. He put that in like downtown Eden, and that's where you chill. That's where you chill.
Chill out right here, downtown Eden.
Right. And so when he gave him Eve, he also, while giving him Eve, he also opened up an entire new covenant, which was be fruitful and multiply. And so really the Adamic covenant, the Abrahamic covenant, and Isaac covenant, Isaiah covenant fall under be fruitful multiply, because when he gave Abraham instruction, when he blessed Abraham, he said, I'll bless you, I'll make you the father of many nations. Right. So that came back under the Edenic / Abrahamic covenant, where it means to be fruitful and multiply. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So we kind of put that under here. Also, fatherhood. Fatherhood is a covenant. Okay. Because how is a child made? Through the father. The man plants his seed into the earth womb, right? And it produces a fruit child. True. And so it's a seed. So fatherhood, being plentiful, being a man with healthy sperm count, like that is something to be proud of. Yeah. Like for real, for the ancestors, you know. Right. Another thing we saw was the Noahic covenant, and we're just doing a rundown. You know, we're doing a rundown because there's a lot. The Noahic covenant, which was found in Genesis 9, bro.
Yeah, Genesis 9, 8, 17. Let's see, Genesis 9.
All right, and it says, and God spoke to Noah and his sons with him, saying, and I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the fowl, of the cattle, of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark, to every beast of the earth. I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is a token of my covenant. So remember I said there's always a token or symbol, right? So that you can remember, that God is real and that his word exists and it doesn't fade away. He said that I do set my bow in the cloud, and there shall be a token of a covenant between me and the earth. So really the recipient of the rainbow was not just Noah and his family, but it was all land mammals and living things.
That's true.
That's what put.
And look how society took the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? They changed the rainbow to a whole nother covenant with them.
Wow. I ain't even think about that. So we're out here, man, like the White House. I think Obama made the White House a rainbow color, saying he honored gay marriages. And that rainbow was not to be used for any other purpose except to be a sign of God's covenant with man and living creatures, that he won't destroy the earth. Wow. And you put this on the White House, saying that you agree with something that isn't fruitful. Because remember, the first covenant was what? Be fruitful and multiply, right? Yep. To bear children. Well, a rainbow of, and people can do what they want. I'm biblical here. I'm getting with the holy heritage of God's chosen. So if you're not a chosen, you may find fault at what we say, right? But if you're not chosen, but if you identify with God's chosen and you believe in the laws and statutes and you believe in his son and the resurrection, then you will fully agree with the words that we're reading from the scriptures, right? But you see how that was so PC I just did just there, but I struggled through that. I was like, that was so PC.
He made it.
I made it. That was so PC. I'm glad ain't no PC police. But like I said, like we don't get down with the homosexuality, because you can't produce a seed through homosexuality.
Yeah.
All right. You can't be fruitful and multiply. Like sex is like, God loves sex. Like he gave man Eve. That's why I told the brothers, I said, we need more brothers to listen to Yahweh's own, to contribute to the conversation we have here at your radio, because we keep all the women at church.
True.
All the women, your nation is majority women. We need more men, because now when in the time we live in, we need more men to stand up, like MLK.
And that's order.
And that's order. So the more women you have, and I'm not saying the less order you have, but the less order, there's not as much order. You see what I'm saying? On a spiritual thing, women can lead, women can be prosperous, but if there's no men leading, right, that's order, right? It can't be fruitful, because there's no seed.
Absolutely.
Right. There's no teaching. You know what I'm saying? Man,
y'all wait till February though.
Wait till February. Man. Right. And so, look at our sisters. Our sisters want a man so they can be fruitful. Like women get bored, man. Like kids, man, like be getting bored all the time. Women get bored if you don't give them something to do, man.
That's true.
You gotta give a woman something to multiply. You see what I'm saying? Women just can't multiply on their own, man. And the men have purpose, right? And it ain't just being fruitful. We have so many different gifts and talents that the women want us to help them. You see what I'm saying? And them help us. Like it's a union there, man. True. So that's why homosexuality doesn't even work. Yeah, you can go. Both of y'all can have good jobs, and that in this day and age, just everybody thinking about just the success of owning. Having $1 million. You see what I'm saying? Like your money ain't gonna be worth nothing a little bit. So you can keep chasing that bread, keep chasing that dream home, that dream car. You can keep chasing that. But after a while, that ain't gonna even be a thought in your head to be trying to drive this and that or live in this and that. So we need to focus on God's principles so that we can know how we can be fruitful.
Right. That's true.
Right. And so the rainbow not only signified that God wouldn't destroy the world again, right, with a flood, but it also denoted something else. When to God's elect, his chosen, his remnant, we know that also denotes survival.
True.
The survival of a seed.
That's true. That's true.
Noah's seed survived, right?
Yes, it did. It did.
Man, so we know that our seed, when we see, he's not going to destroy it with a flood, but we know, hey, if he comes back with fire, if he comes back with a ton of bricks, if he comes back with comets, whatever it is, a rainbow going to be out there to remind us, right, that our seed is going to survive, or we're going to survive because we're the seed, right? All right, so then we have the Abrahamic covenant. And we went through, that took up a lot of conversations. Like we were arguing for minutes, like what did this, that. But really that was a land promise. Right. So let's turn to Genesis 12.
Genesis 12.
Yeah, we got the chill hop in the background, so that's the sounds that y'all hearing in our ear right now. The chill hop.
We just chilling through the Bible.
If you're a Freestyle Friday, I'll bust one for you. A high 16. And so Genesis 12 chapter. Let's start at 1. You read verse 1 to
I'm gonna change the complete Jewish to New King.
Yeah.
So I can get it right. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm about to read this verse real quick. And it says, this is the promise to Abraham, y'all. So it said, now the Lord had said to Abram, get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you. I make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Keep going.
Yeah.
So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran.
All right.
Then Abram, keep going.
No, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
All right. So the land promise. That was the first time we seen God promise land. And remember, the most important thing to these people were their land, their territory, because the Hebrews were vagabonds. They just walked and took their cattle with them. They were a nuisance to people whose cities they traveled through, because so many people without their own land. So they just walked around. They wandered, right? They're wandering now. Right. They've always been wanderers when they didn't have a land, but there was a stipulation to getting in the land, right? There was a stipulation. And so let me see if I can find that stipulation.
While he found that, hey, big ups and thanks for tuning my peoples. Tawana Rouser for tuning in today. Thank you for tuning. Please share and invite the program to your friends. Let them know that your morning show is on. We're talking about MLK. We're talking about the covenants between Yahweh and us. So y'all keep it locked right here. Got more from our Dizzle and myself.
You have to be obedient in the land.
True.
I just want to precept that with Genesis 15 and 18. It says, in the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, unto thy seed I have given this land from the river of Egypt. He said, from the river of Egypt unto the great river of Euphrates. So all of that is Israel.
Right, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? All of that is Israel. When you look at a map and you just look at that little strip, you look at the little strip, right? And it's supposed to be a whole bunch of people that live there.
Right.
Like, no, it's bigger than that. That land mass is bigger. When you see what I'm saying, according to the scriptures, we just see this little strip. Right. So right now, Israel isn't even Israel. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the land.
Right.
Like there's more land granted as Israel. You know what I'm saying? But he got so many other like tribes and people living on the land now. You can't even get on all of it.
True.
You see what I'm saying? But well, because of disobedience, got kicked people off the land, right?
True.
And so we see here also like tribes that lived on the land before we got there. Right, the Canaanites lived there, the Kenites and Cadmonites and Hittites. So all these people were actually, it says the Rephaims. Oh, I ain't never seen that. Remember, like Rephaims. Rephaim. Remember we saw that before.
Rephaim.
The star of Rephaim.
Oh,
so these people occupied the land of Canaan, which is now supposed to be like the land of Israel.
Research.
Oh, wow. We just ran up on something. Yeah. So that's, man. So, but you had to be loyal and you had to be faithful to Yah, right? And his commandments to live on the land. Like, cause he wanted a perfect people. He wanted a set apart people to live in this particular land. Right. So it wasn't that he was going to curse everybody else. It's that he had a set apart people, right, the seed of Abraham that were going to occupy this land. And so then that also brought us to another, I think people call it like the Palestinian or the renewed covenant or something like that. The land of the renewed covenant. But that was Deuteronomy, I think it was like 30. Let's look at 30. Deuteronomy 30. Deuteronomy. And it's a lot. It's like the whole 1 through 10. You feel like reading a reading mood?
We could. How far are you going?
1 through 10.
All right. I'm gonna start reading it. Now this is Deuteronomy 30, 1 through 10. And I think we should post our scriptures that we just went over. We'll post them up and let you guys go back and research it too. Just what we were talking about as far as covenants. We probably won't finish it out today, but we definitely want to. What we did share, we want to leave, some research scriptures available for you. All right. Okay. This is Deuteronomy 31 through 10. It said, "Now it shall come to pass when all these things come upon you, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before you, and you call them to mind among all the nations where the Lord your God drives you, and you return to the Lord your God and obey his voice according to all that I command you today, you and your children, with all your heart and with all your soul. And the Lord your God will bring you back from captivity and have compassion on you and gather you again from all the nations where the Lord your God has scattered you. If any of you are driven out to the farthest parts under heaven, from there the Lord your God will gather you, and from there he will bring you." That's a good song. "Then the Lord your God will bring you to the land which your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it. He will prosper you and multiply you more than your fathers. And the Lord your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your descendants to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your souls, that you may live. Also, the Lord your God will put all these curses on your enemies and on those who hate you, who persecuted you, and you will again obey the voice of the Lord and do all his commandments, which I command you today." All right. "The Lord your God will make you abound in all the work of your hands, in the fruit of your body, in the increase of your livestock, and in the produce of your land for good. For the Lord will again rejoice over you for good, as he rejoiced over your fathers. If you," and this is the if, y'all, "if you obey the voice of the Lord your God to keep his commandments and his statutes, which was written in the book of the law." It's that law y'all talk about.
Yep.
"And if you turn to the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul."
Man,
That's it.
So I was looking for that chapter. I was looking for that scripture, right? That told you what the stipulation was to live in the land of Israel. And it was to keep the commandments.
Absolutely.
If you will keep the commandments, not only do you have access to the land, but also you get access to the bounty of the land. You don't just get to live there as a second-class citizen. I get a social security number and I get a birth certificate, but you still get hated on and you still get discriminated against. And it didn't say that in here. It didn't say that in here. He said, when I take you to your land, hey, you get to make the rules. Hey, you get to be that people.
King. You that king people. Now.
You that dude. You're the majority. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a land that I give to you. So you be faithful to my laws and my commandments, and man, you get to live in harmony. You get to live in harmony, right? So the promised land denotes that he talked about, MLK talked about, right? Our brother MLK talked about a land of harmony, right? 50, 60, what is it, 50? It's been 50 years since he died. 68, 70, 80, 90. It's been 50 years. A jubilee year. Since a jubilee year. Man, the measure of a jubilee year since this man died. Right? This year is going to be 50 years since his death, y'all. Right? And we're not in racial harmony.
Right.
We don't have any harmony in this land. We don't have any grace in this land. Right? So this can't be the promised land he talked about, because 50 years from the time this type of stuff was going on in his era is still going on now. You telling me that a dream, what they call a dream deferred.
Right.
So wait a minute. His dream should have came to pass 50 years later. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's true. Especially a year jubilee.
Come on, man. You usually be maybe like somebody have a dream. If you have a dream, it usually happens in the next couple of years, right? So we was thinking, oh man, we need to integrate, we need to kill segregation. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff, because his dream said that in this land, we gonna, you know, he see a promised land. So probably by the 80s, by the 90s, oh man, it's gonna be one united race.
Right.
We're gonna be all under this flag. And everybody gonna get to be what they want to be and do it. We're gonna live the American dream. Not. You're still struggling as a people. Now we do have people in our right in our what is it millionaire, billionaire Hispanics, millionaire, billionaire Haitians, millionaire, billionaire Black Americans, Negroes, what you want to call them, African Americans, billionaire, millionaire, Asians. We got all of that. But look at your people as a whole, right? It's always one that serves as a symbol of hope to the others, like I said before. But us as a community are still racially divided. That's true, right? It's only one place you get to be racially equal, and that is a promised land. A promised land, a land that is yours, where you get to make the rules with people who look like you, be like you, honor the same commandments as you. So that's a stipulation.
So if they honor the same commandments, that means they not being scandalous. They trying to keep the commands. Yeah.
You
know, best way they can, but they not trying to be out here like, man, let's just do some foul stuff and then okay, let's go to the commandments.
Right. Yeah, I remember. Right. I remember reading a story about Nehemiah saying that he will lay hands on the Gentiles, because this brother said he was about to go to blows with the Gentiles because they kept coming to Israel gates trying to buy and sell goods. They were trying to sell they dates and you know, all this type of stuff, they peanuts and all that stuff, you know, they almonds, they olive oil to Hebrews. And Nehemiah said, I'm gonna sit at the gates because y'all keep making God's people, y'all keep enticing them to buy and sell on the Sabbath when you're supposed to do what? Rest. Supposed to rest from all duties, right? You're only supposed to worship God on the Sabbath. But Nehemiah said, I'm gonna come to blows. I'm gonna lay hands on them if I see them come to the gates. Right. And guess what happened? Them Gentiles, people who didn't do God's law, they stopped coming. They stopped coming because you know what? Hey, you sell it, a black person buy it.
Absolutely.
We don't know how to not buy. We're the number one consumers. We gave, not only did we work in America as slaves to give them an economy, we keep contributing to the economy.
Money in their pocket.
We keep them. Look, H&M said, disrespect to all these black people. They back at H&M. H&M, you know what they said? We got an 80% off sale. Black people went back.
Definitely did?
Yes, sir. They went back.
Almost 100%, y'all.
You see what I'm saying? So all they had to say was, we disrespect y'all today, but we gonna hook y'all up tomorrow.
We sorry.
And black people went right back, man. Right back. Right back. Right back. You see what I'm saying?
And I can see if they said, hey, man, I apologize for the situation. You know, our mindset was jacked up. You know what? I repent. They even said that, truthfully. I've been like, okay, I can take that. But then
they never repented. They never repented.
Never, man.
All they did was create the atmosphere for you to spend more with them and make you feel like you got something on discount. Hey, let's be real. When you own a business, your business is the objective is to get a product that people will purchase for cheap, the cheapest you can get it, the cheapest you can possibly get it, and sell it the most highest number, the highest cost that you can get it. So the clothes that you're buying, black people, are already marked up 400%.
Yeah,
it's already. I work for a clothing company. I know this. It's already marked up. So the 80% that you got, they still made 400 profit.
That's true.
So you didn't save anything.
Right.
All you did was make yourself look stupid, man, to the public.
Right.
For going back after you claimed to have felt disrespected.
True. Hey, Christian Wheeler, we appreciate you for tuning in. We thank you. Please share our program. It would be greatly appreciated. I just see a queen walking through the station.
Ooh,
boy.
She's your queen to be. No other not producer, the Trader Barber. What's going on? She should be on here chiming in on this topic, but she's walking around here bogan.
Hey, check this out. Christian Wheeler said, "You're on the money. Who would do that without mind controlling everyone? We need to be healed.
Yep.
We are divided and mental
crazy.
Divine healing needs to happen. Our mindset is off. You're very knowledgeable.
Man,
it's all about Yahweh.
For real.
Yahweh does this for us, boy.
Right, boy, for real. But you know what I was saying? Abraham. So we keep calling the renewed covenant actual like territory, but that really falls under it's the same Abrahamic covenant, but now it's happening at a later time. So notice that we just read where Moses said that if you disobey the law, God is going to send you away and scatter you, but then he's going to bring you back. Well, wait a minute. He's already prophesying what is going to happen in the future. So he already knew they were going to be disobedient, get kicked off, disobedient, get kicked off. Like it was going to be a repetition with the people of Israel until this great migration that they call this one word, scatter. Because remember, whenever like the Babylonians came, when the Assyrians came, when the Greeks came, you see what I'm saying? Like every time they came, they took everybody and then they went right back.
Right.
He said, but it's going to come a time when y'all going to be so scattered out, you won't even know who your brother is.
True. On
other continents.
And be fighting each other.
Exactly. And don't even know it's your brother. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's not until God, right? It says, and if you hearken unto the, we're doing it. Let's see. Oh, I like this word right here. He said, and the Lord thy God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your seed to love the Lord thy God and with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that you may live. Wow. So right now we have to circumcise our hearts, y'all. And by circumcising your heart, you're really circumcising the stuff that's not necessary. Foreskin isn't necessary. It's really, it's necessary, right, for him because it's a part of human development.
Right.
But when you really look at it, they say it's a cleaner look. You know what I'm saying? guys don't like that foreskin on their penis because it's like extra skin. You don't want just like you don't want extra skin hanging from your stomach when you lose weight. Right. What they call it, you got to get that cut off. That's extra skin. That's excess fat.
Right.
You're right. Excess flesh. That's not necessary, and it's not a good look. You got to tuck it in under your belt because you don't want people to know that you just lost a lot of weight and you can't afford that surgery just yet. Right. So when I circumcise my foreskin, it's a cleaner look. I don't have to worry about cleaning it because it's already clean.
There you go.
Right. So when we're circumcised our heart, we're taking out the unnecessary stuff, all that false doctrine. Get that false doctrine off of your heart. Right. Because people have poured all this different stuff on you. Got you. You're cluttered. Your heart is cluttered. Right. And when your heart is cluttered, you're frustrated. You hate. You're right. You find a reason to do wrong. Right. And then not only that, you find scriptures to okay your wrongdoing.
That's true.
God know my heart. Exactly. That's why he said circumcise it. You got too much on it.
Too much fat on your heart.
You got too much fat on your heart. He can see your heart, but he can't see it because you got hate on top of it. You got discrimination on top of it. You got hard feelings. You got Lashon Hara on top of it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything.
You got all this stuff.
All type of missing the marks.
Bitter root judgment. You know what I'm saying? Got all that on your heart, man. And so when y'all saying God gonna bless me because God know my heart, he does. That's why he ain't gonna bless you because you hadn't truly circumcised your heart. To shuva, turn from your ways, mikvah, purify yourself, and move forward. You're still harboring unforgiveness, ill thoughts that keep you from being prosperous. Sometimes your prosperity is just a mikvah away.
Right. That's true.
You don't even have to go pray and fall on your face. If you turn and pray and say, forgive me, boom, you move forward. You're blessed already. Right, just like that, man. Just like that. Right. Like you don't have to go. You ain't got to go rip your garments and put on ash. Roll around ashes. You feel what I'm saying, man? It's that simple. But all of this is necessary so that we can go back to the land that Martin Luther King was talking about. He was talking about going back to a promised land. Right. And since we're talking about circumcision of the heart, let's talk about the circumcision of the flesh. Because that was also a covenant. Abraham, God told Abraham to cut that penis skin off. Let's go to Genesis. Let's see.
While we follow that, I want you guys we just like to thank you guys for just even listening. It's a word from Yahweh, definitely that. It was just talking about his covenants, giving y'all bits and pieces, but we want you guys to go back and really research it for yourself. Don't just take our word for it and say, hey, RD and Godson said, hey, what did Yahweh say? So we're just giving you scriptures, and at the end of the show, we're going to post some of the scriptures, and you can go back and read them for yourself.
Right, real talk. Genesis 17 and 10. Oh, 9. Let's go to 9.
Genesis 17, 9.
Yeah, 17 and 9. And then we'll read 9 to 14.
All right. It says, and God said to Abraham, as for you, you shall keep my covenant and your descendants after you throughout their generations. That's just enough said right there.
Right. All your generations.
Because we always claiming, hey, I'm Abraham's seed.
Right.
So what's up?
Real talk.
Okay. This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised, and you shall be circumcised in the flesh for your foreskin. Of your foreskins, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. He who is 8 days old among you shall be circumcised. Every male child in your generations. He who is born in your house or bought with money from any foreigner who is not your descendant. He who is born in your house and he who is bought with your money must be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh and in your flesh for a everlasting covenant.
Right.
That's like long going.
Right. It's on. And I want y'all to. This is God talking. This is God talking right now. So if Yah says the word everlasting, does that mean till Yeshua come back?
Everlasting. Even if he come back, he's still going.
Right. Wait a minute. Maybe when Paul said the law is dead,
Pass that.
God said everlasting.
He
said everlasting. You know what I'm saying? Everlasting. There's 4 syllables in that. Everlasting. That means forever.
Non-stop.
Forever. It don't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop. Stop trying to put limits on God. That's what's wrong with the body of Christ. We keep putting limits on God and his word. Well, because Paul said it. Oh, wait. Paul is God now. You want to put him above a prophet? Okay, let's put him above a prophet. Is he above God? No. Never. Okay, well, exactly. Let's stop trying to esteem the wrong spiritual leader. Yeah. Let's esteem God. And God said his covenants are forever, y'all.
Absolutely.
So we need to make sure at 8 days, when your child is 8 days old, all men of Israel should be circumcised. Now, let's say there was a Canaanite who said, you know what, I want to be an Israelite. I want to come into your land. I don't like the conditions where I live. I want to be an Israelite. Or someone who you buy to work for you, right? Because slavery was a just slavery in Israel, because you know what I'm saying, people who were irresponsible, couldn't manage their own affairs, right? You bought them and you bought that land, you took care of them, right? They came into your house. Well, if they weren't circumcised, that was one of the first things you had to do. So even if it was a foreigner could be an Israelite. True. Right? But they had to be, if they were going to live on the land or from the seed of Abraham, period, they had to be circumcised.
Absolutely. Had
to be circumcised 8 days. Even grown man. If a grown man hadn't been circumcised, oh, you want to be you come into the land? All right, you gonna kick it with us? Okay, cool. You got to be circumcised.
Right. That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So brother had to suffer. That. You know what I'm saying?
Take that L.
And I'm gonna show you just how important that circumcision was, man. In Exodus, I see here in Exodus 4th chapter, 25th verse, it says that Zipporah, who was the wife of Moses, took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet, and said, surely a husband art thou to me. So, and verse 26 says, so let him go. So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of this circumcision. So what we see here is that Moses, and you read the entire chapter 4 of Exodus in its entirety. What we see here and what we studied during this time in our study, our Shabbat study, we were coming up with the covenants. We found that Zipporah, oldest son, was circumcised, but the second son wasn't. I think his name was Gershom, right? Something like that. So. I'm not sure. And Gershom. And so he wasn't circumcised, but the first one was. And so it was becoming up on the 8th day, and Moses hadn't circumcised his son. Well, what was that? Moses was a man who was sent out to do God's word, God's will, to free his people. But he was about to break a law. So much that his wife was like, this brother still ain't circumcised this boy.
What is wrong with you, boy?
And even of the 9th day is coming, she found a sharp. You see what I'm saying? It was coming up on the 9th day, and this baby still didn't have his circumcision. You see it popping. So she took a stone and cut the foreskin off of her child's penis, just to keep her husband compliant, because God would have killed Moses, and we all would have been jacked up. We all would have been jacked up just on something as simple as a piece of flesh. But that piece of flesh represented the uncircumcised pieces of Moses's heart. So she kept him compliant, his wife, by circumcising their son for him. And that brought him back to a place of humility.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because now, oh man, I gotta stay on point. I gotta stay on point. And we don't see this brother really falling again until the Israelites caused more, you know what I'm saying, clutter to fall on his heart, where he was uncircumcised. He showed or reflected another instance of an uncircumcised heart, where he struck the rock and not speaking to it. And what did that have? What did that do?
That caused, that was disobedience right there for one.
Right.
And because, he really got tired of the people.
Yeah.
People got on his nerves. He's like, you know what? Y'all want this here. Boom. Did it. So, but it cost him not to go.
Go where?
To the promised land.
Man. He didn't get entry into the promised land because he did not have a circumcised heart. That's how important it is right now for us to circumcise our hearts and prepare ourselves for this next moment of freedom.
True.
Passover.
You know, it's deep talk, man. I mean, this has been my question to him. Where is Moses? Like, really? Like, is he gonna come back? Like, one of the witnesses or what? You know,
right. You know, it's a lot of the sages that say Moses and I think Elijah spoke with Yeshua. He was even considered the Elijah returned of his day, you know, and things like that. And so even in Revelations, they talk about the two witnesses. A lot of people say that that's going to be Ezekiel and Elijah or Moses. So many instances. Those two witnesses could be anyone. It might be us. You see, we started with 4 and now it's 2. He already got a remnant on your radio.
Yeah,
we the only radio station in the world with his name on it. Speaking to a diverse group of people worldwide. So, hey,
unafraid.
You see what I'm saying? Telling the truth because that is what he has purposed us to do.
True.
And we want to be greater in the kingdom.
Absolutely.
So anyone that says God's law is done away with will be lesser in the kingdom. Anyone who says that his teaches people to do his commandments and teaches righteousness will be greater. Right now, you guys are taking part in me and God's son being greater in the kingdom. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Why though? We were looking at this. We were talking about earlier about covenant versus contract. What is another form of covenant?
Back up. You got an agreement.
I can just shake on it.
Agreement. Blood covenant.
Okay. What? Okay. What is another covenant?
Your word.
Okay. What's another covenant? I'm getting at something dope.
You said handshake.
Okay. What's another covenant? What you got on your hand? You got it on right now?
No.
Your left hand.
The ring,
which denotes
the marriage.
Marital covenant between the who?
The spouse. I mean, between the bride and the groom.
So what we have on top of our notes that the first party has a masculine attributes. The man, which is Yah, gives a token in addition to his covenant. So I'm making a covenant, which means I'm coming into covenant with you, and I'm going to give you a token to remind you of the covenant. So that was, be it the tree, be it more kids with humanity, be it survival through a rainbow, through whatever, a land with the chosen people, whatever it may be. It's a symbol when a man proposes to a woman and they create a covenant marriage. That's why he stand up here for the bride to come, right? And he puts the ring on her finger, right? And that ring symbolizes their union. And she'll even put a ring on his finger to say, now I'm loyal to you. I won't go whoring around to other gods. I won't go whoring around.
And I will adapt to you.
I will adapt to your plan.
Not submit.
So that means the second party is us.
Right.
We take on the feminine attributes because we get everything, but in exchange for our submission, right? What is that we're using? Adapting to Yahweh's plan. So the purpose of man is to adapt to God's plan. What's my purpose in life? I'm trying to I want to be a doctor, but when I grow up, but I don't want to work them out. Adapt to God, and you'll find purpose.
Absolutely, that's good. That's real good. Right there.
You see what I'm saying? Because the purpose of man is to fear God and keep His commandments. And we know that when you seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness. What is that righteousness? It's found in the commandments. Because that's what makes you a righteous person. And all these things will be added unto you. You see what I'm saying? All these things. So masculine attributes, God, Yah, the groom. Feminine attributes, us, mankind, the bride. So the Bible is really not just about a people, but it's about a covenant relationship, a marriage even between God and humanity.
Yep. It's just that simple. That's like you see the picture when you're talking. I see the whole picture. So when the bride comes to the when the groom comes to the bride, he's looking for what he saw in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I see this. He looking for that. Right. So if he come back and see who is this again, Two-Face, like, man, you repping me on one side, but the other side look like, turn this way. Let me see. Nah, it look different on this side. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, do I know you?
Real talk. And I'm gonna put this in plain simple. Yeah, women, y'all know this because y'all know it when y'all step out. When y'all go to a club, y'all put on a dress that's too short, got your legs showing, it's glistening, you got the thong on. Then when you bend over, you see the top of the thong at the top,
the
right?
Triangle.
Yeah, the triangle. You see what I'm saying? And you got your hair done nice. You know what I'm saying? Knees poking out. You know what I'm saying? Your chesticles poking out. You know what I'm saying? You just all dub. You just smell good. You trying to get that. You see what you want attention. Men will give you attention because they looking for that one thing. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, we know too, guys just want to smash that woman.
Right.
But the dude they marry is the woman who looks calmly, who got her head on straight, who ain't out here just trying to get attention.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between a woman a man will have sex with and a woman that a man will wife up.
True. That's true.
God is looking for people he can wife up. So if this woman looks good, but she's disobedient, God is going to look at him and be like, nah, this woman is gorgeous, covered, and she's obedient to my law. She has the propensity to adapt to me, right? She has the propensity. This woman doesn't have the behaviors established that really denote that she could align with me. So I'm gonna choose this person. So he's looking for a chosen people who will obey him, right?
Right.
I'm just using it for example, Dot. Let's come on. I'm a dude. Yeah, I know y'all gonna hit me. I know y'all gonna beat me up. We're Robin there. Wait for her to beat me up too.
We just tease it. It's just
but not all women exactly. But I just said, like, you got that woman who don't have the propensity, right? The behaviors established to be righteous, right? Because she's not righteous in her apparel. She's not righteous in what she doing. But then I go to a grocery store, I see this little herbal tea drinking, you know what I'm saying? little bohemian dress woman, but she got a nice shape. She cute. And she got the fruits and vegetables. She ain't got no pork.
Herself.
Wait a minute, she ain't got no pork. Oh, she don't eat pork. That's what's up. Okay. I see she on her vegan thing. I'm gonna holler at her because she's structured in her behaviors. She's got all meat and got chicken everywhere. You know what I'm saying? She's structured. She's got the 4 food groups. You know what I'm saying? You look at this other basket, like this little harlot. She ain't got nothing but hot dogs, bar-ass hot dogs for her babies and baby daddies that come through.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I ain't gonna check that woman out. She might be wearing something fresh, but her grocery cart don't denote that she has a structure in her eating habits. You see what I'm saying? All that is brothers beat, man. Y'all think brothers stupid. Brothers be paying attention to stuff like that. But that's what God is looking for. He's looking for someone who is structured, who can be righteous, who has the propensity to be righteous. And so I want to be. There's nothing wrong with what you want to do, but just remember that when God is looking for a set apart people, so the more you shun being organized, being structured, being righteous, the more you shun it, the more, you see what I'm saying? God is not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Because he's cutting away. He's dividing people right now. He's dividing people. Okay, if Passover falls on the same weekend as Easter, which one are you going to do? He's looking for the people who's going to do Passover over Easter. Why am I saying that? Is there something wrong with both of them days? I ain't saying it's wrong to do Easter. I ain't going to tell you what to do. I'm saying that you can actually find Passover in the scriptures. And if you're a holy set apart people, then you're going to pick the thing that God said to honor as an everlasting thing.
You just read it today.
Not as the thing that is a temporary tradition of man. See what I'm saying? So that's the people he's looking for. And I read this numerous times. And not only that, if we know that this brother MLK talked about a promised land, we've also discussed what it's going to take to get to that promised land.
That's true. Hey, we said enough here, y'all.
And that's just part one.
That's
part two.
Hey, look, that's like 1A.
1A, right, for real.
You got B, C.
Yeah, so we covered 6 covenants: the Edenic covenant, Noahic covenant, Abrahamic covenant, the Abrahamic territorial renewed covenant, right? And then we discussed the part of Abraham covenant that dealt with the circumcision of the male children, right? And we also discussed the Edenic covenant, but under the Edenic covenant, we discovered that the Adamic, the Abrahamic, and the Isaac covenant also the notes or falls under, in a way, the Edenic covenant, right? Because he's looking for a set apart people and obedient people that he can bless, right? So next week we can go over the next 6. We'll go over the next 6, and if you got any questions or inbox us, hit us on here, tag us on here. We'll be in a conversation with you today. But today, man, just reflect on the goodness of God. Just reflect on that. Today is this brother MLK's birthday, a day we honor his life, right? And the number one thing is to honor life. That's why we do what we do. I even if a person isn't, don't have our lifestyle, bro, we still show people love.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
life is what's important. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing wrong with hanging out with people that don't think or feel the same way you do. How can you go into the nations and minister to people if you're only involved with a certain group of people? You know what I'm saying? People always tell us, like, man, how y'all do a Bible-based radio show and still maintain who you are? Easy.
It's not a show for one.
It's not a show, and I'm not trying to be that man. I'm not going after nobody so I can be the number one radio show host in DFW. No, I ain't about that. I'm trying to be the number one person out in DFW doing the will of God, teaching people the will of God.
In love, y'all.
In love. And the only way that I can be effective, the only way that he can be effective, the only way that she can be effective, you know what I'm saying? Your nation can be effective is by going out to the nation. You ain't never see Yeshua just hanging out at the temple all the time. He was out there in the streets. He was out in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Kicking it with everybody.
Kicking it with everybody. Them disciples were some hard-nosed brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? They packed heat. You see what I'm saying? They toted them things, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't no punks. So I mean, let's be real. Let's keep it real, we have to go out into the nations, and I can't be authentic. They say real, recognize real. So what I look like trying to be a Bible thumper going into the projects. I can't be effective like that. Let me talk to you, brother. You need to put that down. No, you can get out my hood if I should put a cap in your No, I gotta be friendly. I gotta present myself friendly. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be me, because real, recognize real. If I come off non-authentic, people gonna call that out.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, look. We had enough. I had enough. Hey, look at Dot. She said, "Amen."
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Dot, for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody that tuned in today, we thank you, for tuning in today. It's Midrash Monday. It's Martin Luther King Day today. I got one more last clip. I got the Shema going coming up after that.
Sure.
And we're gonna see you guys on What's Up Wednesday. We got Rabbi Donald Maher will be here again and sharing some more healthy tips, and also sharing his Myo2 meds. This is what we have. We have the Myo2 meds. This is the formula 513, which comes from the scripture 513, Matthew 513. And these two work together. It's the Myo2 meds itself. And you can get these two if you go to myo2meds.com and, talk to Brother Donald Maher. He would answer any questions. You don't have to pay for no consultation. You just straight to the point. It's biblical facts. It's all Yahweh based. I mean, that's it.
Man. That's it, man.
It's not just the treatment. It's gonna cure, but you gotta help it by eating right too.
Right. Real talk.
Yeah.
Oh, my boy Ruffin. What's going on, Ruffin, man?
Andre
Showing
Ruffin.
love to my man right there, man. I'm gonna hit you up later on today, bro. We need to rap.
Yes,
Need to rap on the rap for real.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Was he at the party?
Nah, man, he couldn't make it out, man.
Okay.
But But yeah, man, just like I said, take some moment out and just honor this man of God, this, brother, Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all What's Up Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
My dear and abiding friend, Ralph Abernathy, to all of the distinguished Americans seated here on the rostrum, my friends and co-workers of the state of Alabama, and to all of the freedom-loving people who have assembled here this afternoon from all over our nation and from all over the world. Last Sunday, more than 8,000 of us started on a mighty walk from Selma, Alabama. We have walked through desolate valleys and across the trying hills. We have walked on meandering highways and rested our bodies on rocky byways. Some of our faces are burned from the outpourings of the sweltering sun. Some have literally slept in the mud. We have been drenched by the rain. Our bodies are tired. Our feet are somewhat sore. But today, as I stand before you and think back over that great march, I can say, as Sister Paula said, a 70-year-old Negro woman who lived in this community during the bus boycott, and one day she was asked while walking if she didn't want to ride, and when she answered no, the person said, "Well, aren't you tired?" With her ungrammatical profundity, she said, "My feet is tired, but my soul is rested." That's right. And in a real sense this afternoon, we can say that our feet are tired, yes, sir, but our souls are rested. They told us we wouldn't get here. There were those who said that we would get here only over their dead body. Well, talk. All the world today knows that we are here and we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama saying we ain't going to let nobody turn us around. Now, it is not an accident. One of the great marches of American history should terminate in Montgomery, Alabama. Yes, sir. Just 10 years ago in this very city, a new philosophy was born of the Negro struggle. Montgomery was the first city in the South in which the entire Negro community united and squarely faced its age-old oppressors. Yes, sir. Well, out of its struggle, more than bus segregation was won. A new idea, more powerful than guns or clubs, was born. Negroes took it and carried it across the South in epic battle. Yes, sir. That electrified the nation and the world. Yet strangely, the climatic conflicts always were fought and won on Alabama soil. After After Montgomery's heroic confrontations loomed up in Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, and elsewhere, but not until the colossus of segregation was challenged in Birmingham did the conscience of America begin to bleed. White America was profoundly aroused by Birmingham because it witnessed a whole community of Negroes facing terror and brutality with majestic scorn and heroic courage.